But then I discovered the stock market. You get stocks like NIO that will give you all the highs and all the lows you need in the same day. What's up, guys? Happy Friday. So the Chinese electric vehicle stocks such as NIO, XPEV, and also LI has been the hot place of this week. There's money to be made both on the long side and the short side. So for me, I don't generally have a bias, but on these large cap stocks, I tend to do better on the long side, on the way up. And you'll see that from my small red day on Thursday yesterday. I was trying to short some of these vehicle stocks, but it just didn't work out. And then today, I'm still very happy to end the day green, and ending the week green overall. So let's go over the losses from yesterday first. So Thursday, XPEV, you can see this very extended candle on the daily chart. I was more short biased on XPEV, but on the other hand, I was long biased on NIO. XPEV, they had earnings, the earnings was okay. Like it wasn't like anything amazing, but I think it would just keep on going up with the entire sector. So I really had thought they were going to sell off, and you can see I was wrong. So I took a decent loss on this. Pre-market it was up around $40 pre-market, and then sold off all the way down to 35 before the open. And that's why I was trying to short around this $37 and $36 area, thinking that they're going to break down 36 and flush all the way down. It doesn't show on the chart here, but there's downside to 34 and potentially daily support around $32. Didn't work, but I managed my risk really well though. Even though it sucks to take the loss, but I did take a loss here. And over here, I had another loss again on the short side, this time smaller because I'm revisiting these trades. Small loss over here when it didn't work. I don't like to keep on adding on the way up. I think that's a very sure way to blow up. So I don't do that. So I'm really quick to cut if I'm wrong. You can see I took a small profit, but cut everything again. And over here, I tried it again, small size, just a scalp. This trade I was green, but overall still red on this name. And you can see I got kind of tried again later on near around 2 o'clock when it just seems like very extended. Still traded this one I scaled in a lot slower, and then I would use a lot less size. So this trade, the final trade was a green one, but overall on this name, on XPEV, I was red on the short side. Second trade is also a loss, but smaller loss on starter size, PDD. This one, they beat on earnings, and I really had thought they were gonna be more upside, but we didn't get that today. You can see I started in around the consolidation level 134s, thinking that they're gonna hold 134s and retest the highs, 138, 140s. Didn't happen. You can see once it breaks down, I just cut it. So pretty small loss on this one. Less, the loss is smaller than on XPEV. But the one trade that really worked out yesterday was NIO on the long side. So I short bias on XPEV, but NIO is a stock I'm more comfortable and more familiar with on the long side. I tend to do better on NIO longs. I have shorted NIO before, but those are usually just scalps. NIO was a clearer long for me than XPEV, but in hindsight, of course, everything's clear in hindsight. I should have just went long on XPEV as well. But you live and you learn. NIO, I left it alone the entire pre-market and at the open. Once it breaks out, you can see this consolidation dip to 45s, and pretty clear, right? It broke the 45 daily resistance, and once it breaks, I'm buying the dips and joining the trend on the long side. Bought it here, bought it here. I was very patient with NIO. This trade I'm actually very happy about. And I sold into 47s, first price target, and I left it alone with a stop at break even. Because NIO is a stock that, I traded just trend joining on the way up before, and I sold the day trade over here at $49. So over here. So that was a very, very nice day trade for on NIO, and that was a green trade from yesterday. So overall, still small red from yesterday, just because there were a lot of paper cuts I took from XPEV and as well as PDD. So today, Friday, it's very interesting how fast things turn in these in the stock market, and that's why this is a great market for day traders, because there's a lot of range to upside and downside. So NIO, you can see yesterday I traded this on the long side, and then today it spiked to 54, and then just dumped all the way down to $45. So that's why, you want to trade the price action. It's very hard to always be a perma bear or a perma bull. In day trading, you don't want to be too overly biased on any one side. NIO, I did take losses on the long side today, but all my losses are very, very managed. You can see I tried to long it here. I left it alone here, thinking that okay, they're gonna consolidate VWAP and go up higher. Tried it along here, starter, didn't work, cut it immediately, and then tried it again over here, didn't work. This is where I realized, okay, they're not even holding around the 49.50s level. This has actually a lot of downside. And I did scalp it short on NIO. And again, when I'm shorting NIO, I tend to go smaller size just because I'm not good with NIO short. Shorted here, after I stopped out of the long, shorted here small, basically covered everything here. Reshorted it again, just scalp size, nothing big. Reshorted it again down here, and I was all out over here on NIO. So the short was scalps, smaller size, but I did take losses on the long side on NIO. But over here is where I'm getting interested in the actual long. Because, when a stock is dropped from 54 all the way down to pretty much 45 and 44s, that's 10-point move on a stock that's, price around 40, 50s range. That's a big move. Now, when I'm buying these stocks, that's very weak. I'm not going to go in full size right away on these bottoms. So these are basically just scalps for me. Even though they're scalps, they still ended up bouncing for like $3, $4. But when I'm doing these, I want to do it on smaller size because you're essentially trying to use daily support levels. If you're wrong, you want to get out fast. This is why I'm scaling in small first, $45. After I covered out of the short, $45, 40.50s, I let it drop, seeing, okay, where is it gonna tank? If $44 breaks, then I wanna be out of the starter size. So once it tanks, didn't break 44s, held, this is where I went back in for, added into the long. Around 45, 80s level, added, and I sold into the pushes. Just scalps, right? When you're doing these scalps, you don't want to be too greedy thinking that, oh, it's going back all the way to $50, 51, 52. It could have, but for me, when a scalp is a scalp, and you gotta stick with it. Sold into everything here. I tried it again, thinking that they're gonna hold red to green, and I want to sell into $50. That's the plan, right? Didn't happen. Stopped out for the loss. So overall, NIO, I still actually ended green on the long side, and very, very small green on the short side. This is one hell of a roller coaster of a stock. Made new highs today, and then just went all the way back to where it came from, basically yesterday's lows. So this is what I mean by this a play for both long and short. It's all about your setup. It's all about the price action, and you don't want to just keep on adding on the long side on the way down. That's the same as adding on the way up when the stock is going parabolic and going short. That's the surest way to blow up, adding to a loser. So that's my NIO trade. And XPEV, I also played it short today around here. Another scalp for me. 44.80s over here, this level, and then it dropped to 43. Just a scalp for like 1 point. You can see, it bounced back higher and then tanked to $42 now. But, I'm all out on the stock. When I'm scalping these things, I don't want to be too greedy. So DKNG is another large cap stock I played today. So they had some earnings release this morning, conference call, and it was decent. The stock basically shot up from 43s all the way to 46, 40s, and then into basically from the earnings hype. I was a little bit more short bias on DKNG just because it's a stock that I've traded in the past before. It likes to do this kind of gap up, sell off, chop around, and then sometimes it just sells off a lot further than you thought it would. So that's why I was more short bias on DKNG. That's where I made the money from. I also got long around the consolidation levels here, thinking that we're gonna get a reversal. My long trade on DKNG didn't work out. So I'm better at trading this stock on the short side after all. DKNG had a starter pre-market. Very small, $45.60. Once it drops, drops at the open, right out of the gate, I wanted to short the bounce. And you can see the drop from 45.50s all the way down to 44.30s. And I shorted the bounce around 45s. And then we got a nice follow through to a new low around $44. Covered some. I'm re-adding some small on the rebounds. And then I'm covering all the way down here. So these are all the covers. I'm out of the shorts by this point. This is where I was actually thinking of a reversal. You can see I got long here, thinking that, okay, we're gonna, probably consolidate around the 43.30s, 44s. But I really want the $34 to hold for me to keep on adding into the long side. Didn't work, so I stopped out all of the long here. So took a small paper cut on the long side. Didn't work. And I definitely got chopped up a little bit. Tried to re-short it here around the VWAP level. Once that didn't work, I covered for the loss. I don't want to keep on adding on the way up. But you can see it went all the way back to the initial level where I shorted around $45. So that's why I went in short, and we got some nice covers on the way down. So overall, I just should have just stuck with it on the short side. But there was definitely still long plays on DKNG. It's just like I was too early. You can see they failed the $44 a couple of times. But it did reclaim here. In hindsight, that would have been the better place to go long. But no, I lost on the long side. So and I had another scalp here around 43, thinking that I'm gonna tank all the way to 42. But I wasn't patient enough to write it down to $42. That would have been very nice. So, I did get chopped up a little bit on DKNG, same as my trades on NIO and XPEV yesterday. I still take losses. I'm human after all. I'm not a perfect trader. It's just like when I'm wrong on these losses, I keep them very controlled and very small. Okay, first question is from Chill Cosmos. Chill Cosmos. That's a really cool name. That should be like your DJ name or something. Chill Cosmos. Here's a fun fact about me that nobody asked for. I used to be very into those like music festivals and following all the DJs, and I'll go to all those shows in California. That was a fun time. But then I discovered the stock market on a stock like NIO. You get your highs and you get your lows on the same day. Okay, anyways, back to the question. Sorry, Chill Cosmos. How come you don't use trailing stop losses instead of scalping? So as price continues upwards, you move up your stop losses. So the way you set your stops has to be dependent on your setup. If it's a scalp, then I pretty much monitor it myself manually and just stop out on my own. If it's a setup like NIO, the way I traded it yesterday, basically it held the trend up. And usually I do this on large cap stocks, then I would use a trailing stop loss. But for NIO, I set it pretty wide, so I actually never hit my stop. But you're right, yeah. So as price continues upwards, you move up your stop losses. For a setup like these, where I think it's gonna make an all-day move, that's what I do basically. So yeah, you're right. But for the scalps, then I monitor and I stop out myself manually. Next question is from Susie May. I love your videos and find it cool, and we can ask questions. Yeah, thank you. Do you watch stock market indicators like upticks versus downticks of indexes, futures markets, and so on? So I only do that when I'm trading large cap stocks, generally speaking, and mostly the tech stocks. So that I'll watch the SPY, S&P 500 ETF Trust as a general guide for direction, but not all stocks are gonna follow the SPY closely. So it's all dependent on the stock you're trading. So yeah, so I do use it as a general guide. But on these stocks that we talked about, like NIO and XPEV, they don't follow the SPY because they are in a sector hype essentially. They're all in a Chinese electric vehicle sector sympathy. So they're definitely not going to follow SPY. Anyways, guys, very nice way to end the week. I think NIO and XPEV and the rest of the sympathy plays, maybe more opportunities next week because we have NIO with the earnings and a lot of high expectations. I don't have a bias yet. All I do is trade the chart, not the company. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.